Hi, everybody. Welcome back into Jack Robertson Arena on the campus of Coastal Alabama South. We were expecting to be here, about a week ago. And Mama Nature said, you know what, take Monday off. As a matter of fact, take a few days off. And we had, anywhere from, depending on where you were, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, even close to 11 inches of snow. But we are ready to put the snow behind us and plow our way back into conference play. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson set to bring you the coverage. It is Coastal Alabama South and Wallace Hanceville. Both teams still in the thick of things from the standpoint of positioning themselves very well for the postseason in the conference tournament that will happen at the University of Alabama, Hanceville, in March. Coyotes putting Janice Anderson, Denver Arnold, Marley Sullivan, Brooklyn Phillips, and Kalasia Robinson on the floor first. Meanwhile, Wallace Hanceville has Callie Tinker, Cameron Sanders, and Asia Mercer, Sanaya Gibson, and Nayla Fuller. Well, weather might have been frightful last week. It is perfect indoors this evening. And you got a scoreless ball game very, very early in. That'll go out of bounds and still belong to the Lions. I am perched above the floor here at Jack Robertson Arena. Crowd continuing to file in. 3-2 in conference play for the Lions, 1-2 for Coastal South as you've got to walk. And it'll be the Coyotes in possession of the basketball. Anderson was actually looking to coach when the ball was put in play, but no problem. Anderson able to get it back, couple of misses. Sullivan stepped out of bounds with it. And it'll be Wallace Hanceville basketball. There are 2 losses in conference play coming to Shelton State and Bishop State. The same 2 teams who have accounted for losses in the conference to Coastal South. First foul of the game, Sullivan. Check that. That is actually going to be Anderson picking up the personal. It was Sullivan who picked up the shooter. Nyla Fuller, a 67% free throw shooter. Goes 1 of 2, and our first points come from the stripe. Couple of games tonight. The men will play afterwards. Arnold bringing it out of the corner, top of the key. She is exceptional in doing stuff like that, dropping in the 3 ball. Sophomore who had an outstanding freshman year here at Coastal South. Weaving her way through traffic for 2 is Sanders. And the ball game knotted up a couple of minutes in. And great to have you watching wherever you may be watching tonight's game, whether it's here in the Payment End area, Robinson with a drive and miss, or whether it's in Hanceville, Coleman up in the north part of the state, or anywhere in between. Sullivan, the Chipley product, with the board. Arnold saying, I'm feeling it. 1 for 2 now from long range. Sullivan trying to throw it back onto the floor, puts it into the hands of Mercer. Around the horn, 3 ball, just a little bit short. Tinker with a miss, but the putback is there. And an opportunity for the old-fashioned 3. First foul on Robinson. That'll go out of bounds off Sanders. Here comes Clarissa Winfrey into the game. Out will go Robinson with that personal. 3 minutes in and a 5-3 game. Couple of Division I schools. When you take a look where Coastal South is concerned, combining all Alabama schools 1 and 2, as that is thrown out of bounds by Phillips. Coyotes are 5-4 against the conference as far as the conference as a whole. But the games that matter are your division games, and that's where the Coyotes are 1 and 2 and would really like to pick up a victory here. Sullivan with the steal, gives over to Phillips. Fed nicely to Arnold, and Arnold with 5. And we are knotted up again. We were tied at 3, we're tied at 5. Give it to Tinker, tries the 3, and it will drop in. The number 1 3-point shooter in the ACCC. 42% from beyond the arc. Foul will be called on Mercer. And you got a host of Coyotes coming out. Phillips out, Sullivan out, Adjusim out. Into the game goes Makira Standridge. She's got it out front. Maya Griffin into the game. And there is a travel by Standridge. And Robinson comes back into the contest. Nice feed down low, missed. But the rebound belonging to Fuller and Company. Drive to the glass, thrown back onto the floor into the hands of Arnold. And Arnold missing the short range shot. Robinson gets it back, rattles it in. Coyotes within 1. Another 3 en route. This one drops in as well. The last one came from Tinker. This one from Mercer. They are the number 1 3-point shooting team in the conference. And showing it early. Leading by 4. Give it to Griffin. Standridge near the timeline. Defending is Mercer. Spin move, Standridge off the rim. Mercer getting the rebound. Lobs down to Fuller. She'll knock it off the window. The Lions open up a 6-point lead. Give it down to Robinson. And it's Arnold with it out front. Resets the offense, asks for a Robinson screen. A little bit short on the 2 try. And foul trying to get the putback was Winfrey. And I think that has got us to the media timeout. First one of the game. 3:39 to play. Quarter number 1. Lions by 6.
When you're starting something new, it's never easy. You're going to make mistakes. You'll doubt yourself. But you're in a place that wants you to succeed, thrive. And soon, it will just start to feel right. Suddenly, you'll get it. Your fear will turn to confidence. First-time tasks become second nature. And what seemed impossible is right in front of your eyes. Because once the light bulb goes on, there's no turning back. You may wonder how you got here, and be glad you did. That's coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
Winfrey, typically a pretty good free throw shooter, 72%. On a team that hits 67 on an average night, 0-2. And it stays a 6-point game. Lobbed over to the other side of the floor, and Fuller couldn't get to it. Lions putting Heather Tetro into the game. Ella Cullum has checked in too. Griffin giving over to Standridge. Puts it up from just inside the stripe. And 2 taken off the lead. And it's Mercer bringing it from the left side, off the rim. Rebound snagged by Sullivan, who is checked back into the game. Gives it over to Adjusum, who is back in too. From the charity stripe, a little too strong for Robinson. Sullivan's put back won't fall, and the rebound belonging to Cullum. Stolen away by Standridge. Drives to the right side, a little too strong. Sullivan trying to get the putback, blocked from the backside. Fuller's got it, going the other way. Handed back out front to Mercer. And it's Tinker with a drive. And she'll get fouled by Griffin. So Tinker to the stripe, a 77% free throw shooter. Good shooting team. They are number 2 in the conference from the floor. Number 1 from behind the arc. Number 1 from the stripe. Seven and 2 away from Hanceville and 3-0 on Mondays. Coyotes are 6 and 2 here, but looking for their first Monday win. Standridge. Give it eventually to Adjusum. She'll put up the 3 off the rim. Tipped away, and with the tip away, Phillips apparently got a finger on a Lion. And you lay a finger on a Lion, there's recourse if it is of the foul variety. And in this particular case, it was Phillips' first foul of the game. In and out with a 3 try from Tetro. And a little bit of a bump, and that bump from Sanders. Going to create the foul. Out of the game goes Sanders. Back in is Mercer. Arnold back in, puts it in play to Adjusum. Coyotes almost have their starting 5. The exception is the lady with the basketball currently. Stanridge. Sullivan has come out. That is I think a long 2. Off the rim, not there. Tetro's got it. Gives over to Mercer, top side. Briefly with it, Column. That is Jaden Toney who has checked into the game for the Lions. Tetro with a drive, puts up the one-hander, too strong. But it'll be retrieved in the corner. Over to Column, and Column short on the 3, but another board. Which means another opportunity for Wallace Hanceville, which may try to run out the clock in quarter number 1. Off the rim, Phillips with it. Is there time? Adjusum lobs it. Comes up just a tad short. 1 stanza in, and the visitors by 4.
We are the Pack. We are Coyotes. We are Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
Enjoying the game from the front row of seats on the home side of the arena. They're on the second tier of Jack Robertson, stolen away by Robinson. Arnold off the rim with a 3 try. Tipped out of bounds. And it was Griffin that last touched it. And it will be Lion basketball. Toney briefly to Gibson, who is checked back into the game. That is Column for 3. There are a lot of Lions hitting from long range. You've had Tinker, you've had Mercer, you've had Column. Over it goes to Griffin. Hey, quick reminder, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Please, that's not a demand. Never would we. Just a request. Robinson with a miss. But even more importantly, love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Here's the short-term goal, 5,600. Here's the 2025 goal, 10,000. Here's our lifetime achievement goal, 1 million. I know that's lofty. Not saying we'll reach it. Just saying we'll talk about it and try. One subscriber at a time, so if you haven't already subscribed, please do. You are watching on YouTube. Even if you went to our website, the media player providing the coverage is through YouTube, so should be some way to subscribe nearby. And you will be our newest best friend, Gibson. 1 of 2, and then Tinker follows up with, guess what, another 3-ball. And that will put the Lions out in front by double digits and draw a Cedric Yelding timeout.
You've started this journey by yourself, but you won't have to go it alone, because now you're a part of something, a community that wants you to succeed, thrive. Here, you'll discover found family, fellow travelers, coyotes. That's the pack. That's coastal Alabama.
Donning the black jacket. That is Daniel Head, the 80 of all the Coastals in the house tonight. He sees a lot of sports. And especially this time of year, because you're talking about a blending of a lot of sports. Softball and baseball begins this week. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to already have had softball, but Mama Nature kind of tinkered with things. And I found out today, as a matter of fact, I was sitting here in the crow's nest getting ready for tonight's game, that baseball this week has been tinkered with a little bit too because of Mother Nature. I hope that is not a sign of things to come all year long. And we'll tell you more about what's coming up here on JockJive this week. Busy week of games. I think right at 14, 15 in all. Tinker giving it to Tony. Tony off the rim. Able to get the rebound back. Over to Mercer, back to Tony. Screen set by Gibson. Gibson over to Tinker. And you got a 3-second violation on Gibson. By the way, speaking of Daniel Head, the AD of all the Coastals, at the half, a conversation with Daniel Head. It is our halftime feature. Well, there was a foul somewhere, and just I think that Phillips wound up on the floor, but the foul was caused by Arnold. Wallace Hanceville. The ladies went to the championship game a year ago against guess who? Shelton State. When has Shelton State not been in a championship game? I mean, it has been at least 10 or 12 years, maybe 15, since there was not a Shelton State ladies team in the championship game. And they were there last year, took on Wallace Hanceville, went into overtime before the Buccaneers won it. And now the Lions trying to get a return visit. They kind of liked it last year. Coyotes, meanwhile, as I mentioned, still right in the middle of things with 2 losses in the conference. Off the rim with the Tinker 3 try. Phillips rebounds it. Anderson down to Arnold. Off the rim. Mercer snagging the rebound. Tetro with a miss. And it will be, I believe, Lions basketball. Went out of bounds off the Coyotes. Coyotes' last outing was their first conference win over Southern Union. Trying to get back, but not able to do so, was Rowan Clements. And Fuller will get the bucket and draw the Clements foul. Meanwhile, for Wallace, Hanceville conference wins over Gadsden State, Southern Union, and Calhoun. And a pretty dominant win over Calhoun, which was a surprise. They were in the semifinals in women's basketball a year ago and gave Shelton State all kinds of fits in the semi. Stolen away by Mercer. Tinker off the rim for 3. And there is a foul on the floor. That'll be charged to Sullivan. Put into the corner to Fuller as we resume play. Tetro women. One of 2 Tetros on the team. And I am making the, is it an educated guess? Common sense guess? And the 2 Tetros are kin. See, I'm not brave enough to step out and say sisters. Could be, cousins, whatever, but Tetro is kind of an unusual name. And I got a feeling if you got both of them Tetros on one team, then yeah, you see how edgy I am with my predicting. Coyotes snapping a dry spell. Turn it into a 9-point game and back to double digits with a Tinker drive. Down low it goes to Clements, and Clements will walk. Well, I think that would get us typically to the media timeout. First timeout inside 5, but maybe they combined the called timeout with a media timeout, and we skip it here in the second. Tetro with it, left side. Brief look into the corner by Collum. Then back it goes to Tinker. Mercer, hearing teammates count the shot clock down. And Stanridge will reach in. Fouling Tetro. So Tetro shooting 7 points a game. Did not start tonight, but has 12 times this year. A 78% free throw shooter. Three ball dropped in by Stanridge. Feed goes over to Gibson, and Gibson, block shot. That was Winfrey on the block, and then you got a walk. And it'll be Coyote basketball with 3:42 to go in half number one. And a conversation with Daniel Head, the AD, is right at 15 minutes long, so too is halftime. So we will go straight into the conversation when we hit the break. Got a 3-second violation. The Lions to put it in play. Basketball today. On Wednesday, softball and baseball. Thursday, baseball and basketball. Friday, softball, baseball, and Saturday, basketball, all here. First Gibson shot just a little bit short. A 48% free throw shooter, averaging 8 a game. Rebounded by Anderson. Well, with these two teams, you've got the top two squads in three-point shooting in the conference. So you expect a lot of threes this afternoon as there is a blocking foul. That'll be charged to Collin. Gibson coming out of the game. In for the Lions is Mercer. Meanwhile, the Coyotes have Micaiah Edwards in. Into the sidelines, Winfrey. Push by Tinker. That'll be a couple of Tinker fouls. Got her going to the sideline. And Tony quickly back into the game. In play to Stanridge. Rims it in and out. Fuller with a board. Got a touch out front, and just a little bit of a reach. Yeah, that was enough to get Tony to the stripe. Tony shooting 2. That is personal foul number 6 for the Coyotes. And it is Tony the Lion at the stripe. Okay, I had to say it. You know, Tony the Tiger, Tony the Lion. Okay. It wasn't good, but I'm trying to work with new material, and you got to try stuff out. But Tony the Tiger makes an 11-point lead. I make that a Lion. See, I haven't screwed up my own joke. Stanridge bringing it out of the corner. Back into the corner it goes to Naomi Wack. Stanridge. And you got a foul. And that is going to be charged to Stanridge. It'll be 2 on Stanridge now. All right, I mentioned the softball and baseball coming up. Softball on Wednesday at Coastal North, Meridian College as that one was thrown to Ware. A little miscommunication where Fuller thought Mercer was going to be. Mercer had already broke for the hoop. Fed back to Fuller, and Fuller will drop it in for two. And the baseball on Wednesday involves Coastal North too. As that goes out of bounds off of a Lion. I believe it is Tallahassee and Coastal North in baseball on Wednesday. And we've got LBW softball Wednesday. LBW taking on Andrew College. Trying to save it in the corner, Griffin, and she steps out. Men and women at Wallace Hanceville with a brand new coach, last year's coach, who coached both. Now at the University of Alabama, Huntsville, where, by the way, those championship games were played. So I guess they got a bird's eye view at UAH and like what they saw. And hired coach, so Lions now with a new mentor. Griffin short on the three try. Fuller with the rebound. Back over it goes to Tetro. Fuller with a drive, and Fuller will get fouled by Micaiah Evers. So Fuller shooting. Men's game coming up after this one wraps. That should be a dandy. I mean, you're talking about a couple of teams that score a ton of points. Wallace Hanceville has scored better than 109 times. Coastal South 3 times. And combined, they average about 180 points. Of course, I say that it'll be an offensive Donnybrook, and we'll get a defensive struggle. Griffin will step out on this side of the floor. And we should have an inbounds and a horn that indicates the end of the first half. There's the inbounds, and there is the horn. And that has got us to halftime. And at the half, it is a 2-for-1. For every single Coyote Point, Lions have managed 2. And at the half, lead at 34-17. Well, we promised you that conversation with the AD of all the Coastals, Daniel Head. Here is that chat with Coach Head. Time for another conversation with the AD at all the Coastals, Daniel Head. Coach, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, Robert. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for having me on again. And, we're excited about the 2025 version of the Coastal Alabama Coyotes.
Amen. A happy New Year to you as well. And by the way, I noticed, I'm sorry, I just can't not refer to you as coach every now and then. So, you're a longtime coach, now AD, but occasionally it slips on me.
Well, I have worked my way back. I'm now the third assistant for my son's T-ball team. Mainly, my job is to make sure I've got everybody in line in the dugout to come up to bat, and I keep the scorebook some. So, I still got it in me. The 5-6-year-old. That's about what probably the level I needed to be coaching at. For years, I tricked some college kids for a while, but I've got down to the level that I'm probably more destined for now.
Well, I'm not sure if I agree with that, but congratulations on your new job, coaching-wise.
Thank you.
By the way, all right, let's talk about basketball first, because we're really coming into the most significant part of the season now. And though this might be played, later in the month, we are recording it the 1st of January. So let's talk about conference play where the Coyotes are concerned. Coastal South, Coastal North. Really, it looks like, all of them are looking good coming out of non-conference to conference play.
Well, we really feel good about our basketball programs and our coaches that we have running those programs. They've done a great job this year and all season getting their teams ready to go. We have our Division I program in Bay Minette. The Division I conference season starts actually Thursday night. They begin conference play Thursday night, and we host Shelton State and women's and men's here in Bay Minette. So it'll be a good test coming out of the gate with Shelton State, who's been a perennial powerhouse in women and men's over the last decade or two, and so. But we're excited about the opportunity to go out and compete and start the conference season. And Coach Robertson and Coach Yelding have both played a really tough non-conference schedule to prepare their teams for the conference grind. And I feel strong about our programs and where they are. We got both teams are kind of in a rebuild and young, but they're junior college young doesn't mean anything because you got to get ready to play, and so they're ready, and we hope that that transfers onto the court and as we get going in conference.
I should have looked prior to coming on the air or doing this conversation with you, but I know since the renovation of Jack Robertson Arena, the losses have been few and far between, especially for the men's team. Have they even lost on their home floor?
Yeah, they've lost. They lost a couple games this year at home. They played some. They lost a tight game against Pensacola, and I think Pearl River right before Christmas. They had, it was a really good game, tight game, and but they've had a good season. We're really, Coach Robertson right now sitting at 8-4. In the non-con, and then Coach Taylor, and they're 2-1 in conference in Division II in Monroeville. So they're sitting right there at the top of the standings. They got a big conference game Thursday night. Got Reed State, who's kind of the newer program, second year, but that we're right down the highway from each other, so it's turned into a little friendly rivalry, and great chance to start the 2025 conference season with those guys Thursday night. And then Coach Armstrong also, they're undefeated, tied for first in conference. She's there. A lot of that team's back from last year's run, and she's brought some new kids in that have added value to the program. And we're excited about their season again, as they come off the defending ACC and South District champions.
As a matter of fact, I mentioned to Mandy, and last year's squad obviously very good. They win the district and advance on towards the district championship. But I think this year's squad may be a better team than last year's for her.
I think they're more versatile. I think they're still trying to find their chemistry a little bit. They played really well there before Christmas. That was a great game. We've had, funny, we have the coastal teams. We have Coastal North and South, and we have a friendly rivalry. All of our coaches are, they're peers. They have great relationships, but it is kind of cool when we get to play each other. And so they've both played a home and home in the non-conference, and both the women's games went in overtime, and both the home team won both overtime games. So that's been a really cool little rivalry there. And then the games between the men's games have been really, really intense and great games also. So it's been fun. That's the cool thing. Everybody's like, oh, you play each other. Well, we got good people in our organization that, we all, we understand and respect each other, and it's fun when they get a chance to compete against each other. And except for me, because, now I don't know whether to cheer for everybody or not cheer for anybody.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing where I'm kind of stuck on so I just kind of try to do the best I can to blend on those games.
To be neutral.
Yes.
Baseball, softball coming up at the end of the month. So we've got that time of the year where we're blending sports. And interesting concept where Coastal North is concerned, because Coach Griffin is calling it a career at the end of the year. Isn't it a little unusual to blend coaches, which I like it? I mean, to me, it kind of smooths that transition. But isn't that kind of an unusual concept?
It is. But that was something that, Dr. Milner, our president, really thought that would be the best path for us to move forward, to keep continuity with our organization. Bruton baseball has gone, those kids and that program they've been dealt a lot of adversity over the last few years, there we had the consolidation and, the changeover. And then we had Coach Blevins and his passing, and it was just awful. And those kids went through that. And then we had an interim coach. Then we had another coach for one semester. And then Coach Griffin, came back to really an opportunity to give back to the program that he helped build, help build. And so we didn't want to lose that momentum, especially coming off the championship season last year. And we feel like we've got another solid team in place in Bruton this year. So the worst thing that could happen is, Coach Griffin retire at the end of the year, and then we go through a 2-month coaching search, and then you got players that may not want to come back or leave, and you have no continuity. And then the recruiting cycle, how can you recruit when you don't have a head coach that's going to be there? So this was a win-win for us. Right now, Coach Matt Collins is our new is going to be the head coach after the season, and he's been dynamic, hitting the ground running and recruiting hard. And he and Coach Griffin are the coaches there this year. He's the assistant. Coach Griffin's the head coach, and basically he's the associate head coach. They are working hand in hand. Coach Griffin's letting Coach Collins basically make all the decisions about the future of the program, facility, anything he wants to do, and then they're collaborating on how to be the best program they can be this year.
Going over to baseball in Coastal South, you've got Coach in his second year now there at Coastal South, and was right in the thick of things, about a couple of weeks out at the end of the season last year. So he's kind of already built up this level of expectation for Coastal South.
Yeah, J.D. Pruitt has done a great job. Last year, he took over a program there about a month before school started. That was kind of, we had a lot of our coach the year before knew before the end of the year that he wasn't going to be back. And that's kind of what we learned from, I'll be honest with you. We went through that situation. By the time we had someone hired, there was a 3 or 4 month gap. And it really, Coach Pruitt came in last year, and it was, we were trying to put a team together really fast. And they had a good year. They overachieved, in my opinion. They were in the top 2 of the conference for probably 3/4 of the conference season. Ended up finishing, I don't know, 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere in there, and made the tournament, and then lost 2 one-run games to the 2 teams that were in the finals, and beat the number 2 seed on the first day, Snead State, that had been a perennial powerhouse. So I think he got some people's attention last year. So I'm sure they'll be coming after him. He won't be underestimated this year. So they'll probably get everybody's best bullet, and they need to be prepared. But I'm betting on them, and they've got a good looking group. They're young, 33 freshmen, but as I said, young doesn't mean anything in junior college. You got to get ready to play. Those guys you're going to have to count on those guys to win, and that's not going to be an excuse. And he knows that, and I know they're not going to make one. They're going to go out and get ready to play, and we're excited about that program.
Going over to softball, Coastal South. Let's start there. Coach Mallory Radwich, to me, has got one of the premier JUCO facilities, and she's put together one of the premier JUCO softball programs.
We will have one of the premier JUCO facilities in about a year. When we get our indoor facility built here in Bay Minette with their stadium and all that's nice. But what we're about to do with the indoor baseball, softball, and locker rooms and all that, that's going to be something that if you're a student athlete and are interested in coming to play baseball and softball, you want to check this out. This is an opportunity you don't want to miss. This is, just from a player development standpoint, the things we'll have in there, and then the nice facilities to be able to work out of and maximize the resources to be successful. But Coach Radwitz doesn't need any help. I mean, she's awesome. I mean, they've won. Last year they finished second place in the conference 3 years in a row. Before that, they were conference champions. They were runner up in the tournament the year before that. She's got I really liked her team this fall. Good group of kids. They play well together. So I'm excited about their 2025 season coming up, and I know they are as well.
And speaking of renovations, in my conversation with Dr. Milner, suggested there have been some improvements too at Coastal North in the softball facility there.
Absolutely. Every facility has had some version of an upgrade, and there are some that are still in the works. But we've gone in and done some things there with the softball facility, at the dugouts, replaced all the boards and painted and lighting, and same thing to the cages. And, we've got our fields are in great shape. We just took on a new company that's managing our turf management. And they're doing a great job. Max Siebert out of Pensacola has done a great job. Our fields look like major league fields right now, and he's the reason for that. And he's actually an alumni, former coach at Bruton, and so it's kind of cool that we have a guy like that who's also a high level scout with the San Diego Padres at the major league level. So it's kind of cool that those things happen there. But we're the Bruton softball. I mean, the Monroeville softball. They came off a disappointing year last year after a run of, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in a row of being in the tournament. That's going to happen over the course of time. Sometimes it's just not going to work. But they had a really nice fall. They got better every week as the fall went on. And Coach Childress is, does a great job. She's been in coaching, 25 years or more, and she knows how to win and knows what it takes to be successful. So we're proud of what we have there, and excited about their season coming up also.
We've got 90 seconds, actually about 60 seconds. So talk about the other sports that start this spring.
All right, we've got Monroeville tennis, men's and women's tennis, and they're in their second year. I think we're excited about the improvements from year 1 to year 2. They had a nice fall, and they're definitely better. We've already had our first sophomore sign a scholarship, and that's Craig Blevins, who's Darryl Blevins' son, who's actually a member of our Monroeville tennis team. It's cool. He's signed a scholarship to go on and continue his career and play college tennis at Blue Mountain College, and we're excited about that. And Coach Cowrie Allen, they've been in the national tournament the last 2 years and have fared well, and we're excited about I think they're better this year, so we're hopefully can have a chance to get over that hump for a state championship. And then we have men's and women's golf in Bruton. We're hosting our first golf tournament this spring in Bruton, and that's going to be a really cool thing for that community and that program. And then Lee Huggins down in Bay Minette, the golf program is back, and they're getting ready to go, and we're excited about this spring. So it's upon us. We have all of our sports rocking and rolling right now, and it's a busy next few months, but we embrace it and are excited about all the things we have going here at Coastal.
Coach, you and I will talk again soon. Great to have you as our halftime guest.
Thank you so much, Robert. I appreciate all you do for Coastal Alabama, and go Yotes.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back as we get second half action underway. Coyotes putting the exact same five who began the ball game on the floor. To begin half number 2, Anderson, Arnold, Sullivan, Robinson, and Phillips. And it looks like the same is true for the Lady Lions as well. That would mean Tinker, Sanders, Mercer, Gibson, and Fuller are on the floor to begin half 2. 34-17 lead Lions. And Robinson will get fouled by Gibson. Well, if you're looking at best performances of the year as a team, for the Coyotes, their best output offensively, 73. Their worst was 36. Defensively, they allowed 94 to Pensacola State. Best defensive performance against Delgado, allowing just 46. Giving a look right and then going left with it to Sanders. That is Mercer. Tinker putting up the three, and she'll do it again. Meanwhile, Wallace Hanceville has had a 103-point performance. Did that against Enterprise State. Their worst showing was against Shelton State when they put 37 on the board. Foul is committed, and Gibson will shoot. Arnold committing the personal. And the best defensive performance of the year for the Lady Lions. 26 against Reinhardt and Enterprise State. Back-to-back games, by the way. And those two 26-point defensive efforts in back-to-back games, the most they've allowed in a single game is 80. And that was to Bishop State. Lions get it back. Tinker back out front to Mercer. Mercer into the corner, Tinker for three, and she will hit another. Both teams coming in having won one in a row. I guess that's not really a row though, is it? Don't have any particular streak intact. Winning nor losing. Best winning streak of the year for the Lions, 9. Best for the Coyotes was 3. Sanders able to retrieve a loose ball, gets it to Mercer. Fed over to Gibson, blocked by Robinson. And here comes the quintet of new Coyotes. Into the game, Griffin, Standridge, Manuel. Clements in. And Wack comes in. And all of the starters go out. Mercer just before the shot clock expires. Standridge running the point. That is Wack for three, and she's got it. Well, Cedric Yeldon going to his bench to add a little spark to the offense, and they get it from Wack for three. Back out front to Mercer. Fuller out of the corner. Standridge took it away. Fuller gets it back. That is Mercer for three, and well, as I mentioned in the first half, a lot of prolific three-point shooters for the Lions. Standridge walked with it. So Lions basketball, 6:07 to play in quarter number 3. Gibson to Tinker. Then back out front to Mercer. Right side, turnaround Jay rattles it in. A little too strong with a shot from Manuel. And there will be a foul. Let's see who committed it. In the vicinity was Clements. Don't think it was Clements, though. It was Stanridge. That is going to be 3 on Stanridge. Tetro into the game. Sanders coming out for the Lions. Tetro back out front to Mercer. Just about halfway through the corner. Bucket counts, foul by Clements to boot. And an opportunity for a 3-point play. As I mentioned, first of a couple of games, the men will take to the hardwood after this wraps up. Just about 20 minutes after we conclude this one. Ladies basketball, the current #1 team in the North, Shelton State. Current #1 team in the South. Well, and I'm saying South as if they are in the same division. I know it's been 2 years now, and I still haven't quite gotten used to D1 and D2. So your D1 is Shelton State. Your D2 front runner currently is Chat Valley. And that's got us to the media timeout. Lions by 30 at the 4:38 mark.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
With hand in hand, that is Dr. Richie Delaney, the volleyball coach here at Coastal Alabama South. He enjoyed some basketball tonight. Last year, she had some volleyball team members that actually became members of the basketball team. Interesting story with most of the team expelled from school because of a lunchroom brawl last year. So a couple of volleyball players became basketball players for Coastal South. In play to Tetro, back it goes to Fuller. Mercer rather. Mercer handing to Tinker. Mercer wide open for the 3. Off the rim, rebounded by Adjusum. Starters back in, by the way. Coming out of the timeout. Arnold, Adjusum, Robinson, Sullivan, and Phillips, and that is Robinson for 2. Collum with a miss from long range. Arnold's got it. Arnold bringing it out of the corner. Hit a 3 in the first half. And still looking for that second 3. Sullivan, though, with the rebound. Anderson to Robinson, and Robinson from the charity stripe. Arnold and Mercer battling for the rebound, and Mercer gets it. That is Tinker for 3 off the rim. Rebounded by Robinson. Adjusum, too strong on the 3 try. Robinson able to get it back. She will put it up and in. And there is a timeout on the floor asked for by Wallace Hanceville. 2:25 to play, quarter number 3.
There once was a young coyote.
You're fired.
He found himself ill-suited for the jobs of the world. He struggled to compete in the corporate environment.
Yeah, this isn't working out.
And failed at the simplest of tasks.
I think I'm gonna have to let you go.
No matter how hard he tried, his coyote hands were just not meant for regular jobs.
That guy is fired.
Until one day, when he was hired for the perfect job. To become a mascot. And then he found the place where he could thrive. Find the place where you thrive at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Back to the action with a little better than 2 to play in the third. Gibson giving it out front to Sanders, who is checked back into the game. Nearly taken away by Adjusum. Sanders able to get it back, lifts one, drops it in, but there was a shot clock violation. Shot came after the buzzer sounds to represent the end of 30. We haven't said congratulations to the Chiefs and Eagles. Headed to the Super Bowl. Chiefs looking for a three-peat. Eagles were there a couple of years ago. Should be a good Super Bowl. In New Orleans, by the way, just down the street. Give it over to Sanders. She'll drive from the left side. Loose ball retrieved by the Lions. That is Tony with it. Gives over to Coleman. Collum off the rim with a 3-try. Phillips the board. Jumper by Arnold. Not there. Sanders across the mid part of the floor. Tetro giving to Collum. Back over it goes to Collum. Sanders bringing it baseline. And it is blocked by Robinson. And again, a shot clock expiration. Emma Steems checking into the game. First time we have seen Emma Steems in. Phillips and Adjusum coming out. Griffin and Wack into the game for the Coyotes. Stanridge to Arnold. Drive to the glass. Robinson with a good-looking move. And that will do it for 3/4 of basketball. Big deficit to overcome, but the Coyotes down by 26 going into the fourth, saying they are up to the task.
We are the Pack. We are Coyotes. We are Coastal Alabama. This is where you'll thrive.
Well, if you're going to watch a game, junior college basketball, softball, baseball, you name it, you got to come to the arena, to the Diamond, to the complex with Vittles. I think that's popcorn, sunflower seed, beverage, and maybe a chicken box too. Heck, I might go to the other side of the gym. Call the game from there, see if they, offer a chicken finger. Into the fourth we go. Sanders working it from the corner, found the seam, exploits, and scores. Out front to Adjusum. Back to Robinson. Robinson, who has had a strong second half, continues to have a strong half. And makes it a 57-31 game. Tetro feeding it over to Mercer. Mercer with a drive. Turns around short. Sullivan's got it. Fed to Arnold. Back to Stanridge. There's her second three of the game. Given to Sanders. Picks up the dribble. Topside give to Mercer. Sanders backing it up to near the whisker on the Coyote at midcourt. From the elbow. Just a little bit strong. Robinson will take it. Throws it away and Fuller's got it. Give it over to Steems. Into the corner, Tetro. And there's a second Tetro three. And we will have a break in the action as the Coyotes take a timeout. with 7.5 to play. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Well, great place to play. Is that leapfrog? I mean, kind of reminds me of the video game. I'm going way back now. They may not have leapfrog anymore. As a matter of fact, I think the last time I played a video game, it was Asteroids. And I'm talking about the little, was it Atari? Trying to think of the name of the very early stages of video game. Over to Arnold. Drive to the glass, Arnold with a miss. And it will stay in Coyote hands. Yes, I go back a couple of years. Pre all this, you know, really realistic looking video stuff. Out of bounds off Mercer. Got a second showing on the shot clock. Put up by Whack, and you got a shot clock violation. Mercer with it. Topside give to Tetro. Over to Fuller. Steams for three. Oh, no good. Misfires, tip back onto the floor into the hands of Arnold. And Stanridge will have it. Off the rim for Arnold. Fed over to Fuller and given back to Steams. Top side to Mercer. Tetro says, I'll try another three. Gets fouled by Adjusum. And Tetro at the line. 77% free throw shooter. Next for Coastal South is Thursday here against Calhoun. That'll be a doubleheader, men and women. And I believe that game Jason Thompson will be on the call. Trying to work out all the details now that some Friday baseball has been moved to Thursday. But I think Jason is here on Thursday night for basketball, Calhoun and Coastal South. I will head to Monroeville for Bevel State and Coastal North. Not sure who's got the other stuff covered. I think Kamari is going to be somewhere Thursday. Or maybe not. Oh, I've got, with this rearranged schedule, baseball. LBW in Calhoun Thursday morning at 11. And then we're hoping we got Art Gilmore on baseball coverage, LBW in Southern Union Thursday afternoon. Still working on those logistics after the Mother Nature-induced change. Fuller with a miss. Robinson will grab it. The number 3 rebounder in the ACCC is Robinson. averaging nearly 8 a game. Given to Sanders and then back to Mercer. Swatted away by Robinson. Back it goes though to Tinker. Too strong off the iron. Rebounded by Fuller. And she'll get fouled. Foul on Robinson. That'll be foul number 3 on Robinson. And I think we turned that 7.5 minute timeout, that came at the 7.5 minute mark, from a 30 into a media timeout. So I don't think we will have another media timeout in the game. Rebounded by Wack and given to Adjusum. Nice drive by Adjusum for 2. Adjusum, one of the top 5 scorers in the ACCC, averaging almost 14 a game. Gibson to Mercer. And an offensive foul on Tinker. Next outing for Wallace Hanceville is at home against Lawson State on Thursday. And the next meeting between these two on the 24th of February in Hanceville. Robinson, a 59% free throw shooter. Really more so known for her rebounding than her scoring, but has been pretty prolific scoring today as well. Missing both there, though. Wack will miss. And trying to get it back onto the floor was Manuel, and couldn't. Put in play to Tony. And don't forget, you want to watch this game or the game that follows later or any game that we have on JockJive. You can do it if you subscribe, $25 a year. Gives you unlimited downloads and access to everything that we do. So you wake up at 2 a.m., nothing on the tube, nothing on ESPN. But you have got a sports fix that needs to be cured. And, well, subscribe. And you get access to a plethora of additional sports. Wack going to the line. Phillips into the game. Robinson coming out. Wack, a 55% free throw shooter. She'll hit 1 of 2. And with that point, Coyotes are guaranteed they will not have their lowest output of the year. 36 against Shelton State, 37 now against the Lions with 3:23 to play. The Coyotes now realizing this one is going to be a Lions win, but you try to put together your best basketball. They play now for the Calhoun game. Trying to get a little mojo rolling for the last 3 minutes of this one. Before taking on the Warhawks Thursday. Stanridge for 2. Mercer to Fuller. And she'll hit it from the charity stripe. Stanridge feeding over to make that whack, feeding over to Manuel. And there's whack for two. Fuller to Tone, a little weave action to Tinker. Column back out front to Tony. Thought about it from the elbow. Column from the top of the key. Rebounded by Phillips. Column with the rebound and Phillips the foul, knocking down Fuller. And Coach Cedric Gelding saying, hey, let's take a timeout. 2:01 to play. Lions by 27.
You've started this journey by yourself, but you won't have to go it alone. Because now you're a part of something, a community that wants you to succeed, thrive. Here, you'll discover found family, fellow travelers, coyotes. That's the pack. That's Coastal Alabama.
A little less than 2 to go in the game. Fuller. Column for three. Off the rim. Whack with a rebound. Manuel feeding to Stanridge. And it is stolen away by Fuller. And you got a Griffin reach. Should be a non-shooting foul. It is the last of the non-shooting fouls for the Coyotes. Steam giving it to Column, back to Tony. Column got the shot off in time, couldn't get it to drop. Phillips with the rebound. Hands it back over to Stanridge. Down to Whack. And Whack for two. Tony taking it out of the corner. Probably the last Lions possession of the game. Stolen away by Whack, given to Stanridge. It is short. Fuller's got it. Coach says hang on to it. And that is your ball game. So a final 68-43. Lions will win it. They will improve to 18-3 on the year. Coyotes will drop to 8-11 overall and stay winless on Mondays. Lions remain unbeaten on Mondays. First of two in the books. The men play next, and that will come your way in roughly 20 minutes. We'll see you then. For all of us with Coastal Alabama and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.